In North Korea, leadership is not just respected, it's revered. The Kim dynasty, now in its third generation with Kim Jong-un, is portrayed as the nation's sole protector. This belief is instilled from birth, woven into songs, school lessons, and daily life. State media repeats the message only the supreme leader can guarantee safety and prosperity. The outside world is depicted as dangerous, with the US and its allies as constant threats. Questioning the leadership is unimaginable for most North Koreans. Yet daily life is a struggle between public devotion and private survival. Citizens navigate strict rules and constant surveillance. The system endures through belief, social pressure, and fear. Despite global changes, the core message inside remains. The leadership is perfect, the people are united, the nation is strong. The story of North Korea is the story of a people living under the shadow of the world's best leadership. This is the foundation of North Korean society. Kim Jong-un is the center of North Korea's universe. His image is everywhere. Portraits in every home, school, and office. These are not just pictures, they're sacred objects, protected at all costs. His words guide every policy, and his authority is never questioned. State media presents him as a genius in all fields, military, economy, and as a compassionate father to the nation. Mass events, parades, and rallies reinforce his image and the people's loyalty. Children sing songs, praising his wisdom. Newspapers tell of his tireless work. The cult of personality creates an emotional bond between leader and people. Many genuinely see him as their protector and hope for a better future. Behind the scenes, Kim Jong-un consolidates power by promoting loyalists and removing rivals. He projects a modern image, appearing with his wife, launching ambitious projects in Pyongyang. Yet the core remains unchanged. He is the supreme leader, his power absolute. There's no room for any authority but his. The leadership cult is essential for maintaining control. In North Korea, the leader is not just political, he's almost divine. In North Korea, your fate is decided at birth by the system, divides people into three main groups based on their family's political loyalty. The core class, descendants of revolutionaries, enjoys the best opportunities and lives in Pyongyang. The wavering class, the largest group, must constantly prove their devotion, facing limited prospects. The hostile class, descendants of landowners, merchants, or unreliable elements, faces discrimination and hardship. Access to education, jobs, and even marriage is determined by. The system traps families in cycles of privilege or punishment for generations. It's a powerful tool for social control, discouraging dissent by making the cost of disloyalty devastating. Marrying outside your class can ruin your family's future. The government rarely discusses, but it shapes every aspect of life. It determines where you live, what you study, and who you can become. The price of a single misstep is paid by your entire family. This invisible caste system is the architecture of North Korean society. It ensures loyalty and obedience, reinforcing the regime's grip. For most, escaping your assigned place is impossible. Is the ultimate expression of state power. North Korea's economy is centrally planned. The state controls all production and distribution. The public distribution system, in theory, provides food and necessities to all. In reality, the system has long been broken, leading to chronic shortages and hardship. The 1990s famine killed hundreds of thousands. Food insecurity remains widespread. Most people survive on rice, corn, and kimchi. Meat is a rare luxury. To cope, North Koreans rely on informal markets, which have become the real economic lifeline. These markets sell everything from homemade food to smuggled Chinese goods. The government alternates between cracking down and tolerating them, knowing people need them to survive. A new class of small-scale entrepreneurs has emerged, operating in a legal gray area. Despite this, the official economy prioritizes the military, diverting resources from civilians. Pyongyang's elite enjoy imported goods, while the countryside faces daily struggle. The gap between propaganda and reality is stark. For most, life is a constant battle to find enough food and money. The economy's hardships are hidden behind the state's claims of prosperity. Pyongyang is North Korea's showcase, a city transformed under Kim Jong-un. New skyscrapers, modern apartments and leisure facilities project an image of prosperity. State media highlights these developments as proof of national strength and self-reliance. The city boasts water parks, theaters and luxury stores for the elite. Access to these privileges is reserved for the loyal core class. Construction relies on mobilized labor, often under harsh conditions. The contrast between Pyongyang's modernity and rural poverty is stark. The capital is an island of privilege in a sea of hardship. These projects serve as powerful propaganda, showing the leaders' benevolence. Internationally, Pyongyang's skyline challenges the image of a backward nation. But for most North Koreans, this prosperity is out of reach. Pyongyang is the regime's vision of a socialist paradise, real only for a select few. The city's glittering facade hides deep inequality. North Korea has pivoted toward Russia and Belarus, forging new alliances. After a 2023 summit, Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin pledged a strategic partnership. Russia now provides economic aid and military technology. North Korea reportedly supplies ammunition and troops for Russia's war in Ukraine. This cooperation alarms the West and breaks North Korea's diplomatic isolation. In 2024, a formal treaty deepened ties, with high-level visits and mutual support. Belarus has also become a key partner, cementing a new Eurasian bloc. North Korea now participates in international forums with Russian and Belarusian backing. This pivot gives Pyongyang economic lifelines and advanced technology, helping it withstand sanctions. The regime gains legitimacy and strength on the global stage. North Korea is no longer a lone pariah, but part of a coalition challenging the Western order. These alliances reduce reliance on China and undermine international pressure. The new reality signals a more confident, assertive North Korea. Regional security and global diplomacy are being reshaped by this shift. Despite new alliances, China remains North Korea's most vital partner. China is Pyongyang's economic lifeline and diplomatic shield, rooted in shared history and ideology. Nearly all of North Korea's official trade is with China, supplying fuel, food, and goods for the markets. This dependence gives Beijing leverage, but China avoids destabilizing its neighbor. Relations have had ups and downs. China supports some sanctions but blocks harsher measures. Recently, ties are warming. Kim Jong-un is set to visit Beijing for a major parade, his first in 6 years. The visit signals renewed cooperation and a united front with Russia against the West. Kim needs China's support for upcoming domestic milestones. For China, it's a chance to reassert influence as North Korea grows closer to Moscow. Beijing must balance restraining Pyongyang's nuclear ambitions with maintaining stability. This complex relationship is the key to North Korea's survival. China's support remains the regime's ultimate safety net. North Korea is one of the world's most heavily sanctioned countries. Sanctions target its economy, aiming to halt nuclear and missile programs. They cut off exports, restrict oil imports, and block access to global finance. The result, severe economic hardship and food insecurity for ordinary people. The regime blames sanctions for the country's problems, using them to rally unity. Despite pressure, North Korea has become adept at evading sanctions, using illicit trade, front companies and cybercrime. Hacking brings in hundreds of millions, funding weapons programs. Strengthened ties with Russia now help bypass restrictions, providing food, fuel, and technology. This partnership undermines the effectiveness of sanctions and reduces reliance on China. The international community's main tool for pressure is losing power. The regime endures, making denuclearization seem ever more distant. Sanctions have failed to change North Korea's course. Life in North Korea is defined by control. Physical, psychological, and technological. Travel is tightly restricted. Permits are needed even to move between provinces. Leaving the country without permission is treason. Information is the most tightly guarded commodity. No free press. No global internet. Citizens access only a state-controlled intranet. Radios and TVs are fixed to state channels. Listening to foreign broadcasts is a serious crime. The state creates an information vacuum, ensuring its narrative goes unchallenged. Social control is enforced by neighborhood watch units, who monitor every household. Neighbors report on each other, creating an atmosphere of suspicion and fear. Public loyalty is a matter of survival. Private thoughts must be hidden. The system atomizes society, preventing trust and organized dissent. Smuggled USBs and cell phones offer glimpses of the outside world. but the regime's walls remain strong. Surveillance and isolation are the foundation of the regime's power. This is the defining feature of life in North Korea.